Welcome to Yoga for Health and Joy. My name is Patricia Becker. I am your certified Hatha yoga instructor, and I specialize in yoga therapeutics. It is my passion to teach yoga and see my students enjoy growing and expanding their practice and feeling healthier and better all the time. This program, Yoga for Health and Joy, is going to have different episodes. Today's episode is Yoga for a Healthy Back. And about 85% of Americans have a back issue at some point in their life. So I thought we would start out with focusing on how to make our back as healthy as possible. And yoga is one of the only exercises that really emphasizes the back and the spine. So that's what we're going to do today. I wanted to also let you know that some of the other episodes we're going to focus on would be like the hands and the feet. We'll do neck and shoulders. We'll do yoga to help you sleep. And if you have any requests, you can let me know. You can find the website in the credits. So let's begin our class today, Yoga for a Healthy Back, by taking your sit bones in, back, and apart. I'd like you to join along here so you can feel good at the end of this class. And you can sit up on a blanket if you'd like. It just gives you a natural little fall, let your thighs fall down a little bit. And from your rooting down into your blanket, grow as tall as you can. Please draw your shoulders back. And please close your eyes and draw your awareness in to your breath. We'll just take a moment here to connect the body, the breath, and the mind. And take a couple of slower, deeper breaths. And now slowly allow your eyes to open, looking down and looking up. Now that we've arrived in our body, I want you to keep your sit bones rooted down and walk out on your fingertips. Stretch out, keep your sit bones rooted down, draw your chin in slightly so you get a lot of length through the back, even through the back of your neck. Stretch out as long as you can. Slow, deep breaths. And you can walk yourself up. You can also do these poses in a chair. You can modify. Now we're going to turn off to the left thigh. We're going to twist a little bit over the left thigh, and we're going to stretch out over the left thigh. Now you're going to have to really root down through the right outer hip because that hip wants to come along for the ride, for the twist. So you got to root it down as you slowly stretch and lengthen your spine, breath by breath. And slowly walk up. And we'll turn over to the other, off to the right thigh. Root your left outer hip back and slowly stretch long through your spine. Draw your chin in. And anchor yourself down with your fingertips to root your hips back even more. And we'll walk up. And with yoga, all poses are not going to be appropriate for all people. So you need to tune into your breath and your body and see what's appropriate for you. We're going to take our hands behind our back, interlace your fingers. Please curl your shoulders up and back. See if you can get the bottom tips of your shoulder blades up behind your heart like the wings of a heart. Keep rooting down through your sit bones, lengthening through each little vertebrae on the back. Opening up the chest. This is the anti-computer, anti-driving pose. It brings balance to us for that. And we'll release our hands and feel. Now we're going to do Omega pose. So we're going to take our feet out in front of us. You can stay on your blanket, or if you'd like to scooch it away, you can do so. You want to get your sit bones in, back, and apart to create space in your pelvis and your lower back. And we're going to hold onto the ankles and grow tall. Your feet are out in front of you. And exhale, fold forward. And you can use your arms on your legs. Please take your belly button to your spine, round your back. And always you want to feel a nice lengthening through the back of your neck as well. And move slowly and gently, breath by breath. Opening out the outer hips. And we're going to bring our feet a little closer together, or if you don't want to bring your feet together or can't for some reason, you can stay in that pose and we'll do that pose again. So we're going to press our feet together. I'm going to get a hold of my sit bone and spin it back and apart. So naturally that leg comes down a little bit more, and then get a hold of the other sit bone, take it apart, and get as much space in the pelvic floor as possible for a healthy back. Reach tall through the spine. And then we're going to take the navel to the back to engage these front muscles, which are connected to the back. You can stay right here, or you can exhale, fold forward again. And it gets into a little different area when you fold forward. Take a breath here, slow, deep breath. It's called Baddha Konasana, or cobbler's pose, and you can take your hands to the outsides of your knees to bring your legs back up gently. And now we're going to come to our hands and knees. And I'd like you to make sure you're spreading your fingers nice and wide, clawing down into your mat. Take your knees a little bit behind your hips here, and we're going to tuck our toes. And then we're going to round the back. We're going to round the lower back, round the middle back, and round the upper back. And look in towards your belly. Round as much as you can. Round it right up to the sky. And then we'll exhale and do the exact opposite. Arch your back, lift your sit bones up, shoulders up, and gaze up. And we'll do it again, breath by breath. This is a nice, gentle massage for your back. It's called cat and cow. And exhale, arch your back, sit bones up, shoulders up, and gaze up. And go ahead and do it again in your own rhythm with your own breath. Yoga means to unite. We're uniting our breath with our body, with our mind. And then let's come back to neutral pose. You want to keep your arms straight. And we're going to hug to the center. Hug your shoulders together, hug your hips together isometrically, and then we're going to press our left leg way back. Spread your toes. Press the left leg back. Engage your quadricep muscles, and you see the toes are spread. You can stay here at this stage, or if you want, you can lift your right arm and stretch like you're reaching for your favorite treat. And stretch and lengthen through the whole body. And then we'll come down And we'll press out through the right foot. You want to pretend like you're trying to push something away from you. And then stretch through the opposite arm. Reach as long as you can. Breathing and stretching out through your vertebrae. And we'll come down. Now we're going to come on down to our bellies. We're going to do some baby back bends, just like similar to what we did when we were born, when we were babies. These are how we strengthen our back very safely. So this is called Shalabhasana. We're going to interlace our hands behind our back, curl our shoulders up, and maybe you can just lift your shoulders up and your heart up. Or if you can see if you can press down through your toes and lift your inner thighs up and flare your toes. And you want to lift up as high as you can. This pose looks sort of easy, but if you're trying it, you know it's a lot of work and it has a lot of benefit. So lift as high as you can. And then if you want more love in your life, lift higher. Whoa. And come on down. Make a pillow with your hands and take a rest. Breathe in. You should feel a lot of vitality pulsing through you right now. That was so good. Let's do it again. This time we'll interlace our hands the opposite way. You have a dominant way. Now we're going to do it the non-dominant way, the opposite. Even see if you can take the heels of your hands together if possible. Curl your shoulders up, lift your heart up, and the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. See if you can lift them up behind your heart. Lift up and lift up your legs. And here's a little tip. Sometimes when we're doing this, it's so hard we forget and we're looking down like this. It's sort of hard to get up when you're not looking up. So you want to look where you're going. Look up. And come on down. Make a pillow with your hands and turn your head to the other side. Okay. And we're going to bring our hands alongside our chest, spreading our fingers nice and wide. Tuck your toes. We'll come up through our knees. And then we're going to take a downward facing dog. Lift your knees up, sit bones up, stretch it out. Downward facing dog is very strengthening and lengthening to the back. Stretch it way out. From the back of your heart, root down through your arms and through the mounds of your fingers. And from the back of your heart, lift up through your back, all the way to your hips. Stretch it out. It should feel so good. And then we can walk our dog by bending one leg and then the other. Nice and easy. The straight leg hamstring gets a deeper stretch, a longer stretch, and the hamstrings are directly connected to the health of the back. If your hamstrings are tight, what happens? They pull on your back, causing back pain. So now we're going to stretch it straight out, and I'd like you to bend both knees. Lift your sit bones higher to the sky, way high, and see if you can take your sit bones apart here. I know when I first heard that, I thought, well, that's a little crazy. What do they mean by that? But think about it a minute and try to do it, and then maybe sometime you'll be able to do it. And a couple more times. Take your sit bones way apart. Now that's creating space in your lower back and giving you freedom. Now we're going to create length by pressing the tops of the thighs back and tucking the tailbone down towards the heels. Press the inner thighs back, press the outer thighs back. And take a couple of slow, deep breaths. And then we'll bend our knees, walk our hands back to our feet. You can bend your knees. If your fingers don't touch the floor, you can go like this. Pause. And then we'll take our hands to our hips, draw the shoulders on the back, press down through the legs, and slowly come up. You don't want to come up too fast, so you get a little dizzy. Okay. So those are some really good stretches. Now we'll continue on doing some standing poses. So this is mountain pose. Mountain pose yoga, just being aware of how you're standing. Are we standing like this? Are you like this in the grocery line? Or are you like this, or like this, or like this? So we just bring awareness to how we're standing. So mountain pose, I want you to press down through the bottom half of your body into your heels, into your feet. Lift up. Draw your shoulders back and just feel like a proud mountain, healthy and happy. Now we're going to just inhale our arms up and keep pressing down through our legs and lifting up through our back, through our spine, reaching up even through the fingernails. Exhale your hands down. Inhale right back up. Tone your belly. Press down into your legs, lift up through your heart. And on your next exhale, come on down. And one more time, press down through your legs, lift up through your spine, lift up through the top of your head. Exhale your hands down. Okay, let's inhale up again. This time, take a hold of your left wrist, stretch taller. By holding onto your wrist, you can lift up even a little bit higher. And then we're going to lean off to the right, keeping both shoulders back. And you want to press down more through your left leg as you reach off to the right. And you want to pretend like you're reaching up and over a beach ball here. And we'll straight up, get a hold of your right wrist, stretch taller. And then off to the left. And then straight up through your fingers. Exhale, lower your arms. And we'll kind of inhale up again. And get a hold of your left wrist, stretch off to the right. And now we'll pick up a right leg, if you can. You can just stay there like this or practice. This is a balancing pose. It's very strengthening for the back. Engages your muscles quite a lot to keep your balance. And we'll reach tall and then up and over to the left. And we'll lift up the left leg. You see the toes are flared. You can practice. Exhale your hands down. Okay. Here is one of the most powerful poses to relieve lower back pain that I know. So you're going to stand with your feet parallel, and you have to watch yourself. You may have a habit of having one foot out or one foot in, so you have to retrain yourself to stand parallel for a healthy back. If your feet are like this, that means your back is crunching. Your lower back is crunching. So this pose is called Utkatasana or chair pose. Legs parallel, we're going to bend our knees, place the hands on the upper thighs. Your thighs love to be rooted down like this. We're going to take our shoulders back. And here, similarly to in down dog, we're going to take our sit bones way apart. Way, way apart to create space in the lower back. Now I'm going to give a little tuck of my tailbone down towards the earth, down towards my heel, and take my shoulders back again. So we've just created a lot of space, a lot of width in the lower back by taking the sit bones apart, and then the tailbone tuck created length. And then you press down into the earth to come back up. And then you just move around, see if that helped your lower back. And I bet you it did. It has many a time. And we're just going to swing around a little bit here. So I'm going to do that again, so I really want you to know that pose because it's so powerful. Chair pose, Utkatasana, knees bent, sit bones back, hands on your thighs, shoulders back. And you take your sit bones way apart, so you can get them apart. And now we're going to give a little tuck of the tailbone down towards the heels. Now you can stay right here like this, or you can lift up your arms like this. Take your elbows forward to help you get your shoulder blades up behind your heart. Maybe you can sit a little bit lower and lift up your chest a little bit more. That's one variation. And then another variation is you lift your arms up. Sometimes people call this skier's pose. And then we root down to rise up, stretch tall. Exhale your hands down. Some of these yoga poses look so easy, but when you're doing them, you know that they're a lot of work and a lot of benefit, and we feel so good when we're done with yoga. Okay, so next we are going to do some poses on the ground. So many poses, such a short class. We have to tune into each episode. So we're going to do a forward fold. So please bring your hands to your hips. Engage your kneecaps, engage your quadricep muscles. Press down through your feet, and we're going to hinge at the hips. Stretch your spine long, keep your neck long. Exhale, fold forward. And go ahead, take a hold of your elbows, please. Lift your belly button up towards the ceiling and let your heart and head melt towards the earth. This relieves tension. It's very calming. This is called an inversion. Your head's below your heart. I just love to have my head below my heart. It just feels so good. And this is a very safe pose to do as long as your legs are powered up. That means you have your quadricep muscles engaged, your kneecaps engaged. Take a couple of slow, deep breaths here. You know, if it feels better to have your knees bent a little bit, that's fine too. And go ahead, cross your arms the other way. Slow, deep breathing. I'm going to take my belly button up to my spine again and let my heart and head melt closer to the earth. And bring your fingertips to the earth, bend your knees, and we're going to sit down. We're going to sit down and we're going to do a variation of Setu Bandha or bridge pose. So we're going to lay on down, keep your knees bent, please. This is another really powerful pose. So keep your shoulders back, and we're going to take our arms like in a robot pose. Snuggle your upper arms in nice and close to your body. Feel the four corners of your feet pressing down into the earth. Roll your shoulders, press your shoulders down. Gently press the back of your head down so you have a nice curve in your neck. Now you've got your feet down, shoulders down. Now it's time to take your bottoms up. Lift your sit bones, lift your hips up to the ceiling. And curl the bottom tips of your shoulder blades up behind your heart. Your heart goes towards your chin, but not so much that you can't breathe. Breathing's very important in yoga, you know that. Press your sit bones up. This is very strengthening for the lower back, can relieve back pain. It's also, it's a heart opener, which is a natural, some people say natural antidepressants. It feels really good. And exhale, come down, lower your arms and just feel. It's a powerful pose. It's a really good pose. So I'm going to show you another, a little bit deeper variation. And we're going to lift our sit bones up, root down. You see how you can press your arms down to help you get more lift. Now you can stay right here, or you can interlace your hands underneath your back, curl your shoulders up and back. And press down through your feet, and you can also use your arms to press down a little bit. Sit bones way up. And you can hold that longer if you'd like. We're going to come on down for now. And we're going to stretch our legs long, arms overhead, like somebody's pulling at your arms and your ankles. This is giving you nice traction in your back, which should feel really good. A lot of back pain can be from compression, your back compressing, so all this stretching is very healing. And we're going to come on down, bend our knees. We'll take Shavasana now. So you can take your feet apart, take your knees together, open your arms, close your eyes. You can take Shavasana like this. Or you can stretch your legs long, let them fall open, let your arms fall open. Let your body be heavy on the earth. Let your bones be heavy. Feel your back, the vitality pulsing through there, the health flowing up and down your spine. Drink it in. You can stay laying down in Shavasana if you'd like, or you can bend one leg, then the other. Roll to your right side. Rest your head on your forearms. Use your arms to lift you up to seated. We'll cross our legs, or you can stay in Shavasana if you have. And just take a moment. Thank you for practicing. Look forward to seeing you on more episodes of Yoga for Health and Joy. Thank you.
Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate